Okay, college kids. We're all growing up. We have responsibilities. We're starting to work, make a little bit of money, have some spare change. Can't put a down payment on a house or can't afford a house. What do? You invest your money. Today, I'm going to tell you why you should invest in enthusiast cars, why you should invest in them, why they're going up in value, and why they can help maintain your monetary buying power as currencies depreciate. So, why should you invest in enthusiast cars? Why are their prices going up? Well, what even is an enthusiast car or a pure sports car? As Alex Kirsten of Car Throttle Automotive Journalist site says, it's a car that focuses solely on the driver. It's a car that's visceral and communicates to the driver. Communicates every nick and cranny in the road. A car that responds to all your little steering inputs that you give it. So why are their values going up? There's a handful of reasons. First off, their numbers are going down. The quantity of them, the supply, is going down. As their values bottom out, people buy them for cheap. They go and crash them, they'll drive them to the ground, or there's just old retirees that buy them and throw them in the garage and you'll never see them again. So, quantities are going down. Next reason is they're hardly being produced anymore. Manufacturers, they're going away from making enthusiast cars. Manual transmissions almost dead. Crash test standards, emission standards, electronic nannies, they're all making for a safer and easier driving experience, but it's making for a much duller experience. And ultimately, everything's going electric. In 20 years, it's all going to be electric. No one's even going to know what an enthusiast car is. And the final reason, ultimately the main reason that's impacted them the last 2-3 years, made the prices go up big time, is social media hype. Lots of, pretty much all millennials and Generation Z, we all have social media, we watch YouTube, there's hundreds upon hundreds of content creators online that review these cars, they make content with them, race them, build them, showcase them, and open the eyes of people and bring new people into the car community. And these so-called new gearheads, they want these cars. It increases the market demand on them while the supply is only going down. So that's only going to build up the price even more. Now, it's clear that these cars, they're going up in value. They're a good investment. But why should you invest in them over, say, your typical investments? Stocks, bonds, currencies, exchange currencies, gold, real estate if you have the money. Well, the difference is these all have a stress factor to them. You can never have that assurance of mind, that peace of mind that your money's safe the next day. It doesn't add, it only decreases your quality of life, while having an enthusiast car increases your quality of life. What's better than having a hobby that you can watch grow your money? Now, what kind of enthusiast cars do you want to invest in? You want to invest in something, first of all, manual is usually good, limited production, something that has a special engine or a unique characteristic or quirk or driving characteristic, handling. Just a car that's special, unique. A great example of this would be the Honda S2000. It's a car produced from 2000 to 2009, convertible by Honda, and it's a high revving motor, had this highest specific output of any car for production car for almost 9 or 10 years, and just a very raw, visceral driving experience. Just great enthusiast car. As renowned automotive journalist Doug DeMuro stated, who cares when you're having this much fun? Just go on your favorite back road and enjoy it around every corner. Yeah, it's a great example of an enthusiast car. And I can personally attest to this as I've owned a few of them and have watched the value over the last 5 to 6 years literally double. And that's not an exaggeration. S2000 is a great example of a car that's gone up in value big time, but now their buying price is a little high, so it might not be the best for college kids. Something with, there's other examples with lower buying options, like the original generation, first generation Mazda MX-5, 70s and 80s Datsun Z models, old manual transmission Hondas. These are all great options too. The Mazda MX-5, first generation. It's a Japanese roadster, the first of the Japanese roadsters from the 80s and 90s that harkens back to the post-World War II era British roadsters. And they were a huge success, hugely popular, and they were just more reliable and cheaper than them. So that's an iconic car now. Next up is the Datsun Z models. Datsun Z cars were Japan's first attempt at bringing a sports car to the US market. And they were a huge success, and they're now iconic cars. They made millions of them. They're very cheap, but now they're starting to go up in value. That's a great option too. Another option is just old manual Hondas. They're not going up crazy in value, but they're a sure bet. They go up slowly. They have a huge following, and they're bulletproof. You don't have to worry about reliability or anything. Now those are examples of cars you should invest in, but there's some cars that you should avoid, like the plague or coronavirus. Just stay away from them. They're total money pits. A great example, well, these cars, they're notoriously unreliable or ridiculously complex, over-engineered, hard to work on, or just luxury cars. Luxury cars have too much electronics. They'll be a pain when they're old. A great example of this is the Nissan 300ZX. It's pretty unreliable and it's terrible to work on. You have to take apart half the car to just do a simple maintenance task. It's not good for your wallet, that car. And it's actually one of the 5 great Japanese enthusiast cars of the 90s, along with Acura NSX, Toyota Supra, Nissan Skyline GTR, Mazda RX-7, and these cars, 10, 15 years ago, they were reasonably priced. And you could pick them up for a reasonable price. However, now, some of them have doubled and even tripled in price and are virtually unattainable now. They're the price of a new luxury car, while the poor old 300ZX, you can find them all day for $5,000. Hasn't gone up at all, and that's because of the reasons I mentioned. It's unreliable, it's hard to work on, so these cars will not go up in value. Now, you know why you should invest in them, which cars to invest in, which to not invest in. Well, why should you even invest? Why not just hold on to your money and keep it in your bank? Well, the main reason is, I mean, we're all busy, we're in school, we got school, work, more school, stressed out. We're not focusing too much on our finances. But we should be, because, I mean, the state of the world now with the coronavirus impact on the economy, trillions and trillions of dollars being pumped into the economy through stimulus. It's a Keynes economics principle to kickstart the economy. And it has good intentions, but as David Weinberg from thefederalist.com says, as world economies face peril, politicians line up to back economic fiscal stimulus. And if history serves as a guide, it's most likely that this will not save us from the peril. So, I mean, free money is awesome. Yeah, who doesn't like it? But it's going to come out of someone's paycheck eventually. It's not magic. So it'd be totally foolish for us to not think about our finances and worry about them. If you like cars, what better way to invest in than cars? So like I said, we're college kids, we're in college, we're all running thin, we're at our primes, doing as much as we can to accomplish as much as we can with our lives. But we can't ignore our finances, and I strongly urge you, if you have any taste or likeness towards cars, you should scour the internet, do your research, find an enthusiast car that you like, that will go up in value, and patiently scour the markets till you find a good deal on one, pull the trigger, go buy it, and enjoy it. But don't enjoy it too much so that you crash your investment. Thank you.